Hey guys, it's Seanbot back with a new episode in our free-to-play series. Before we start the episode, there's a couple of things I should talk about. Because I've caught up with my progress, I'm only going to be uploading every week to 2 weeks from now. I need to progress on my character to record stuff, right? I've also decided that I'm maining Corsairs. They're simply awesome and underrated, definitely a class that needs to get more love. In terms of how solo this series will be, after thinking for a bit, I decided I'm going to allow myself to do things that are easily accessible to new players, but keep the rule that I'm not getting carried in anything. I'll be sure to suggest how people can follow what I'm doing, but some things I will allow myself to do is buy frenzy service, which is very commonly smegged these days, join commercy PQ parties, there's also smeggers for that, and also you can wait in the PQ area for a party. And also, I'll allow myself to join boss parties when I hit the minimum requirements for them, after Lotus and Damien. I won't allow myself to do things like sell service to people. For example, selling Meister Cube services require a bit of trust and networking in order to get there, so I won't try and follow that route. I'm calling this episode the calm before the storm because next Sunny Sunday is a 5, 10, 15 event where I'm getting all my equips to 17 stars. The next Sunny Sunday after that is the 50% off Spell Trace Enhancement and Spell Trace Fever together. Thanks to Jasper for pointing this out to me last episode. This is the first time in event history that they've overlapped, and what that means is that you can essentially think that the Spell Trace Fever time costs half the amount of Spell Traces that you usually expect. Spell Traces cost 5k mesos right now, but if you use the Spell Trace Fever with the 50% off, you can think of it as 2.5k mesos. With that, I'm going to perfect my Absa fan for my Kana, and also start working on my Arcane Gun that I pick up this episode. Because of these two huge events, I had to raise a lot of mesos this episode, and so this episode is far from calm. Finally, I want to talk about a project that one of my kind viewers, Dakota, suggested that I'm supporting. Basically, we want to create a platform where people can easily search for parties. So we're creating a Discord server for boss carries and to match players for boss parties. For boss carries to work out, we will need volunteers for people to carry, so if you're interested, please leave a comment under this video. I understand how overwhelming it could seem for new players who aren't in guilds to get carried in to find these kind of platforms, so hopefully this works out. Of course, we'll create rules to ensure that the carries are not disadvantaged, so things like pet loot off for people getting carried and a ban list for people who aren't following the rules. So once again, leave a comment under this video to show expression of interest for carrying, and once we get the numbers out, we'll go from there. And also, shout out to my boy Amyte for allowing me to use his music. Anyways, with the long intro out of the way, let's begin the episode. I thought it would be a nice way to start the episode by showing my Corsair and Hoyang's inventory after doing daily bosses. The 50% tradable drop gear is definitely paying dividends here, and I recommend you all to do this if you have the time to invest in them, and also do the daily bosses on multiple characters. I expect about 2 to 3 cubes on my Hoyang and Corsair after the daily bosses, and 3 to 4 cubes on my Kana. So that's about 8 to 9 cubes I expect every day. If you have the time to do that every day, that's 3,000 cubes throughout a whole year. This is probably the extra thing that I'm doing compared to an average player, and that's going to be what helps me reach late game 3 times faster. I've been selling a lot of boss accessories. It was the start of Terror Burning again, Season 2, which meant people needed those boss accessories to level up the characters, creating demand for them. Since then, they've gone down a lot in value, so it might actually be worth hoarding them until the next Terror Burning events to sell. Here are some clips of me just putting some money from my Hoyang and Corsair to the storage. I make 10 mil a day selling intense power crystals on both these characters, so don't ask where I get those from. At this point already, I've committed to maining my Corsair, so I decided to try and get some item drop familiars on it. Some people have asked me about this, but epic potential familiars are the ones that have increased drop by a large amount lines. I had 53 on my Kana from a few months ago, where I bought them for 6 mil each. I knew it would be a good investment. I wasn't able to get the line I wanted, so I bought 20 more for 10 mil each. It was so expensive. I got the line on my very last familiar, so I got really lucky, but at least that's out of the way now. I got a couple of Ignore Defense familiars, which is a decent line as well for now, so we take those. To unlock your second familiar slot, you need to unlock any badge, so I farmed for the easiest badge set for my Corsair. The third slot unlocks with 10 badges, which isn't really worth it for me right now, so I'm not going to really bother with that at the moment. And this means I can equip another familiar. This was 3 days worth of cubes. My primary aim here was to get my event ring to unique to throw event ring Meister cubes on. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Finally teared up. Now that I got my event ring to unique, I want to get my VIP necklace from epic to unique to throw all the miser cubes I get from daily bosses. The more jockey you have, the more cubes you get to throw. I bought 25 event ring miser cubes from the shop. I needed to go legendary and then get drop lines. Oh my gosh. Legendary. That was honestly really lucky. I got legendary on my 8th cube and got drop line on the first cube after that. I decided to keep going and try and get double lines of drop or hybrid with the remaining cubes I had. You know what they say, right? Go hard or go home. So now I'm going to try and get double lines on this. So I bought another 25. Just as I was saying here, I had 25 cubes left in the shop and all those bamboo shoot cubes. So about 70 cubes in total. I might as well just go for the double lines of drop or hybrid, which is why I kept going here. Unfortunately, I didn't get anything. Honestly, I shouldn't have wasted normal Miser Cube on this event ring, but I got my 20% item drop back at least for now. Okay. So now I have 15, 35, 50, 70, 90% drop with an inability of 20% drop here as well. So 110% drop. Honestly, up to now, I forgot about the bamboo shoot cubes, so I thought I was done. I realized a few days later that I had those cubes from the bamboo shoot shop. Every day I've been throwing 3 mices on it, hoping to get double lines of drop or mesos. I made a beast tamer on Burning World and did some juniper farming with swift rakes. Now this clip here shows the value of leaving items in the auction house that you don't expect to sell. I actually listed them for 500 mil thinking that nobody would buy them at that price, because if I sell it, then hell yeah, to me I made a profit in my view, but if I don't, then I can use it to farm junipers myself. Level 201. Oh, thank God Jasper commented the overlap between Spell Trace Fever and the 50% off Trace Sunny Sunday. The fact that I missed that was a huge miss on my part. If I had seen that earlier, I wouldn't have Spell Trace during the Fever time on Christmas. Regardless, this just means that I need to start stocking up on Spell Traces. I can't commit too much to Spell Traces as well, because I need enough mesos for the 5, 10, 15. So I need to both kinda balance my mesos in my inventory with Spell Traces. Oh my god. I've always mentioned how Happy Odors are the actual raid boss in the game right after you get your 5th job advancement. My Corsair cleared this so easily. So easily. This was so awesome. The skills look really nice as well. I cleared the Vanishing Journey storyline and got the Arcane symbol. You know what that means. Mesos to level up my symbols, yay. I used a super duper awesomely broken 5th job advancement potions to level up my Corsair. And more clips of me buying more spell traces. I was also looking at the prices of arcane guns at this time so that I can spell trace that during the spell trace fever time. So this is all the spell traces I currently have. I need more. More junipers sold overnight, which means more funds to buy spell traces. I mentioned that I'm doing orange imps on 3 characters, and today half of those imps were done, so I was happy to get the sweet fruits from them. Sitting on 11 fruits now. Time to stock up. Alright, let's drop. Let's do it. Double lines. Nope, wrong double lines. 21% luck. Wrong double lines. RIP. To be honest, I'm not really expecting double lines to appear. The chances are so ridiculously low. I just don't really have anything to use bamboo shoots on, so that's why I keep trying. When I only have about 10 bamboo shoots left, I'm just gonna stop on 20% item drop. Found it. An arcane gun for 200 mil. How cheap is that? My real life friends have been playing Maple recently, and the first tip I told them to increase their damage is buy an arcane weapon. Unfortunately, the classes they picked were Adels, Night Lords, Pathfinders and Arcs, which are classes that are very mainstream. Because of that, their arcane weapons are 3 to 4 bill. Compared to that, this gun costs almost nothing. I'm so surprised that the rakes had no market before I started doing this series. Now I'm wondering how many unexplored markets there are in this game. These rakes have a very nice profit margin for relatively low effort, and it's surprisingly easy once you get used to this imp system. This kinda reminds me of the 2015 days where I did something similar with face stompers. Back then I was one of 2 sellers in Berra for face stompers. I was able to make about 10 in every hour and sold each of them for 200 mil each. This was back when we had to buy shop permits to sell in the free market. A few people actually buddied me back then and I became their personal seller. It really gave me the early boost that I needed back then. Capturing unexplored market isn't easy, but it's worth every effort. Okay, ready? Or I'll just keep an item drop. Oh, I'll keep an item drop if I can. No. I sold what I got from the orange imps, and I also stocked up on spell tracers again. I need more space, man. VIP pendant. Oh my. It's legendary. This is an unfucking thing that work there. You expect that. Hey, thank you, come on. Legendary. So laggy here. Okay, now I want Mice Cubes. Come on. Interrupts. Oh. Let's do it. Legendary. Come on, legendary. Legendary. No. Oh. Buy one of this. Get this to 3 lines. Success. Okay. I think I used up all the luck for the year getting my event ring to legendary. That was 25 Meister cubes in a row, and I didn't get a single tier up. A juniper berry farming a day keeps the doctors away. Sold another clean slate I picked up from an elite boss. Ah yes, it begins. The arcane symbol costs. I didn't train too much today, just like half an hour, and I got to like 50%. I think I've made at least 3 builds in this series just selling juniper berry seeds. Another day of collecting sweet fruits. For people wondering whether they should use the rakes or sell them, I recommend that if you're going to farm junipers anyways, use it. You'll get more profit there. If you don't want to use it, then sell it because it sells nicely for quite a chunk of mesos. My next priority for cubing is getting my black egg ring to unique so that I can use the 20 Karma Meister cubes from the event shop to get it to legendary for drop rate again. I think at this point all of you have realized how obsessed I am with drop gear. I like cubes. To get more cubes, you need more drop gear. What I'm doing isn't necessarily the most efficient path, I admit. I focused way too much on drop gear and too little on damage. But by doing this now, I know I will be getting insane cube drop rate later on, so it will be worth the investment. Since I got my core set to level 205 in the previous clip, I can now move on to Reverse City, which will be where I train until 210. It was fun training on Twitch talking to some of yous, so thanks all for that. That's something I will probably keep doing moving on to the future. I decided today that I was going to train for 2 hours, so I bought a Fury Totem with reward points. I also picked up a Sage Peel potion from the event shop which gives 30% extra damage to normal monsters. It's an insane steroid for training. I was still unsure at this stage whether I was training with Frenzy or not, so I went to 210 without Frenzy. From 210 onwards, I will be buying Frenzy service, so I hope you guys don't mind that. One thing I don't like about GMS is that because of spawn enhancers, there's this imbalance in classes and it almost feels as if you have to commit to a Kana or buy Frenzy, and especially so in Reboot. Not going to lie, that's also why I started with the Kana, simply because it's objectively easier than any other classes, especially for beginners. After you get to some point, you can buy Frenzy service and whatnot, but until you reach that point, training with base spawn is excruciating, and I respect the players who can grind without any spawn enhancers. Woohoo! Today was 50% off Honor EXP Sunny Sunday, so I was determined to try and get my Corsair to Legendary Inability with 20% drop. Honestly, I got to Legendary pretty quickly. Not gonna lie, like I think with all my characters I've gone into Legendary pretty quickly in this series, so pretty lucky with that. I didn't manage to get item drop on my inability rolls, so I went to the event shop to try and get some more medals. Let's see how many I get with this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Damn it, I only got 2. Ooh, how many did I get there? I got 10. I got 2 again. 10 honor medals, what the hell? Is there even a limit to how much you can get? I thought 5 would be the max, but apparently not. Bruh, I just got exactly the lines I wanted, holy crap. Item drop and meso obtained. I was really happy with what I ended up with. The item drop inability is, of course, my favorite line, as you guys might suspect. And if I were to buy the Frenzy service later on, to break even, I need meso gears anyways, so that inability with the meso obtained will help a lot with that. Sunny Sunday gave us 30 arcane symbols, so I got heaps of arcana symbols. Honestly, I would get Lost Line normally, but I couldn't get any symbols at all for Arcana with my pitiful damage, so I ended up just getting the Arcana symbol. I tried rolling for a better second inability line, but I didn't get anything. Cubes. 1, 2, 3. Right. I want to take this guy off. Oh, 80% int. Oh, drop. Oh, 80% int. Ah, yes, the symbol costs. They're adding up. I trained my Corsair today to level 208 for a bit. Nothing too huge in terms of training. I did this without any totems because I wanted to only commit for 2-hour training with totems, but this was chilled, only probably like 45 minutes. Because today was a Sunday, the Monster Park boxes give EXP coupons, so I bought some extra tickets with the bamboo shoots. With that, I'll have enough EXP coupons for my next training session. And I closed the day with some juniper farming. Honestly, at this point, I'm fine with just sticking with one line of item drop and one int line. So that's what I'm aiming for, but I didn't get anything again. So Sage Pill, again, you know, 30% extra damage is really, really good. There's still 2 weeks until this event ends, so make sure to pick up on that. So yeah, leveling highlights. Woo, to 10. So yeah, I hit 210 with that. I had some time on my totem left, and I knew Choo Choo Prequest would require hunting monsters, so I started with that until my totem expired. Can I just say again how awesome Corsair's mobbing bursting is? I was finishing each quest with 1 bullet barrage in each map, so like I was pleasantly surprised with how good this class is. Let that be a lesson to you guys about how many hidden gems there are in this game. There are so many classes that are just not played at all, but they have such cool skills that just people just forget exactly what they do, and yeah, that's why classes are dead, I feel. I got some flames from the portal, so I just chucked it on my pants. Didn't really get anything here. And I had 1 more flame on my Corsair, so here we go. Oh my gosh, this is not bad at all. 48 int and 4% all stat. That's actually surprisingly good, not gonna lie. Like, I probably won't have to work on that for a bit. I will probably also use all the flames in the Awake shop to try and get some decent flames on my CRA equips and Absub equips on my Kana. Yeah, so just revealing the potentials on all the equips I'm going to transfer hammer. And with that, we hit our goal of reaching 210 on our 2 Terra Burning characters in the Wake patch. So yeah, in conclusion, I'm maining Corsairs for sure, and I look forward to our journey from here. Although Hoyoungs were also an awesome class, I didn't like small aspects in the class which I highly value, whereas I see almost no flaws with Corsairs with my playstyle. I think all the summons and skill management would turn people away from this class, but I think that's what makes this class so interesting. So that's the end of this episode. I hope you all had fun. I stopped showing exactly all the dailies I do because I think most of my previous episodes covered that, and most of you should already know what I do daily, but here's a list for the more recent viewers. Some of you might also be thinking, well, if you're intending on maining another class, why the hell did you fund Arcana to begin with? There's a few answers I can give here. Firstly, the purpose of this series was to play from scratch without any resources. I believed Kanas are a great class to begin with. I also wanted to test the viability of starting with a farming class to fund a class to mid-game-ish, then work exclusively with that class. There is also the fact that in coin capping events, this Kana will be my mule to level up my event shop, and finally, I can still do daily bosses on this Kana for more chances of cubes. Even when I start working, I will be doing daily bosses on my Kana and my Corsair. Cubes are just so important to progressing, so being able to maximize the amount of cubes you can get is just a priority. As I mentioned, I will probably only upload every week or 2 because I'm up to date with my life progression, and I don't want to make many random Maple videos because I'd rather play and focus more on my in-game progression to provide more clips for you guys to watch in this series. But if you want to see more footages regularly, come catch me on Twitch to chill or ask questions. I'm expecting to stream pretty frequently on it, although I haven't made a set schedule. I'm just kind of streaming whenever I feel like doing so. Next episode is going to be a big one after the 5, 10, 15 event, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, thank you all for watching and see you guys in the next episode. Thanks!